go. The microphone is on. Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you all on board. And, oh, that lightning. Scary, scary. Anyway, on screen, it is, of course, Fuego in Guatemala. And that is what we're seeing. And it is putting on a little bit of a show for us today. Unfortunately, it is very windy and stormy there. Thankfully, we can still see it, and no clouds in the way right now, which is actually very cool. And I want to report that, yeah, we've had 2 bunnies eating, and one just took off just now, but they've been playing bunny games, and I think they're kind of happy with all this snow. I don't know, all of a sudden they seem to be playing in it, which is, I guess, what bunnies do best. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board today. And a big welcome to our moderators, Arizona Snowman, Piggy, who's in the house, and she's even got power. And also, let's see, who else is here? C&D Boy, and he's out in the rock there somewhere. And possibly Gary 24/7 Live, he's at Skies, as well as Lucas Snow and Joseph Fields, possibly hiding in the background as well. But welcome, moderators, and it's all good to have you guys on board. Of course, you got, what? Who's got another baby? David, did you get another baby? Oh no, forgot milk bones for him. Uh-oh. Ah, milk bones. How could you forget, David? Shame, shame. Oh, it happens to the best of us, I guess. Hey, I forgot to write down who actually got the cookies today, and I think it was Grandma... Oop, I better spell that right. Grandma B. And, yeah, Grandma B. So we'll give her some cookies. There you go, Grandma B. You got some cookies. And right on. So, push pins on chart to record tails for... Oh, no. Careful with that poor donkey. He's going to have a sore tail side. That's for putting on the chart, not on the back of the poor donkey. Anyway, welcome to everyone. Glad to have you on board. We'll go through the names real quick. We'll start out with, Trevor T. Winky Wonky Snowy Donkey. And Nancy Buchanan is here as well. Sue Hayes, Henry Nelson, Dave Crook, and Ariane, welcome. All of you. And Dave Crook, yeah, I got you already. Sarah Miles is here. Astronomy Live with David Brewer, also in the house, who forgot the poor doggie's milk bones. And let's see, did I get Sue Hayes? Henry Nelson. Oh, let's go up the list a little bit more and see. Timothy Sowers here as well. And going up a little more, looking for more wonderful names. Lizoid is back in the channel. Welcome, Lizoid. And we got Grandma B, we got Trevor. I'm scrolling up here. Kate is back. Welcome, Kate. Good to have you on board. And still scrolling up, looking for more names like Richard Lapointe. Welcome back. Good to have you on board. And let's see, who else we got? Sharon Stewart, I hear you. Tom Dice and Pepper, of course, are here. And scrolling up some more, looking for other wonderful, good people. And let's see, Toe Bradley, welcome. And who else we got? Echo the Bot. Welcome, Echo the Bot. And scrolling up some more, looking for a few more names here. We got Lizoid, we got Dave. Scrolling, Linda Schoof is in the house. Welcome, Linda. And Phil popped in and took off. Oddwad, is it Oddward? Oddwad. I hope I said it right, Phil. But welcome, and glad you're sitting back and lurking a bit, and all cool. And scrolling up a little bit more here, looking for other good names. Earth Creature, how exciting! Gonna go boom. Well, it goes boom on a regular basis, that Fuego, and that is actually a pretty active volcano as of late. And some of the eruptions have been a little bit more intense than previously, which is pretty cool. Anyway, also welcome to Kevin Williams. And scrolling up, Serotonin also in the house. Good to have you on board. Patriot Roydy also made it in. Tetra is in the house. Welcome, Tetra. And still scrolling up here, looking for other names. And Tom Turtleson also here. And I am up as high as I can get in the list, and we got the other ones up there are all old ones. Oh, Michael, welcome as well. I've seen you in there just once. All right, I think we've got just about everybody covered. Piggy throws in a $2 oink oink Dr. Fox and all. Thank you very much for that. Wonderful super chat, Piggy. That is very, very kind of you. And I get that written down here. £2. And awesome. Thank you kindly, Piggy. That is very, very nice of you. And appreciate it. And let's keep going here. £2. Yep, £2. That's more than £1 by a pound, and less than £4 by £2. So that'll work out to £2 anyway. Anyway, thank you kindly. And £2 works out to what is it? $2.31, according to the revenue thing on my screen here. But all cool. Thank you. And let's go and look at what we've got cooking around the world. So we know Fuego is doing its thing. It is continuing to throw its goodness out into the world, and of course from up top on that business end, doing very, very nicely with some storming stuff in the background, of course. And now that the sun went down, it's a little bit harder to see. But I did like earlier when we seen some of those little fire puffs coming out of there, and there was just short bursts of before it changed to black and white. You could see quite good lava cooking up in the top of the cauldron up there, and I just backed it up a little bit to 1743, just so you can see the fire. The fire in Fuego, and that is pretty awesome to see. Typically, we don't see it that much because that camera switches over pretty quick from color to black and white, and those darker moments when you can really see that lava don't show up so well till it switches. So always nice to see that. If we go ahead a little bit here, we might see a couple more, but I'm not worried about it. We did see it erupting earlier, so I'll put it back to live. Let's go over to Iceland, and we'll have a look there and see what Iceland is up to today. And of course, that is the city of Reykjavik, a capital city, and looking not bad. If we go back about 7 hours, roughly, that puts us to about here somewhere as soon as it finishes. There we go. And wasn't the most pleasant day there by the looks of things, and a cold wintry day. Of course, you can see the city, and the lights are starting to come on, at that point in time already 7 hours ago, okay? And that's in the middle of the day. Anyway, you do see the mountain top in the background here. Not too much snow left on top of it. The distant mountains there, you can definitely see that snow cap up there. Quick peek at the other view, and that is this one. Why is it buffering? All right, it wants to buffer. Come on. There we go. And of course it cut the quality down on me when it does that. Anyway, there's the other view. We'll back that up about 7 hours as well. And there you can see the regional airport, and of course the rest of the city downtown being over here. And both camera views are from the Perlin Center, and you see the cloudy skies here. Doesn't look that pleasant, as I mentioned. And we will go over and have a look and see what Katla looks like right now. Well, right now it's in the dark. There you go. That's exactly what I figured. Going back about 7 hours though, and again the quality is down. I don't know why. We'll get that fixed up. There we go. You can see the white caps off in the distance here, the ice, and unfortunately with that low level cloud we're not going to be able to see a heck of a lot going on there, and I don't believe that ever really lifted up too much. When we back up even more, you can see a little bit more, but those clouds are hanging in there, and then prior to that they were low down as well, and that's kind of before that. You can't see a heck of a lot. So that is what the weather looks like there kind of right now, and we'll put that back to live, and we'll put these other guys back to live as well. That way I can find them when I need to. And there we go. Let's take off and look at the harmonic tremor chart. That one didn't refresh on me, the other one. Oh, it's going now. Decided to do things again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Every time I refresh or leave a page and come back to it, it knocks the quality down. It's a mystery. Anyway, looking at the harmonic tremor chart, we're going to get onto that. There we go. And we need to refresh that one and get our latest and greatest. That way we know where we are at. Okay, so for Philadelphia, the FAF chart here, we do see some small quakes or tremors in the area, but in general it's more or less a downward trend for what we're seeing here, and our extremely low frequency seems to be heading up a little bit. And don't know if that's going to indicate any more of the tectonic movement or not, but that is what we're seeing. So we should be able to spot about 1, 2, 3, 4 quakes, maybe 5 quakes, very small ones in the area. We'll have a look at that and I'll go from there. But let's go up to Astja first, and of course around the Astja area. Actually, Herdebrede, which is very close to Astja, it's been busy doing its thing, and it has calmed down. I mean, looking at the size of the quakes that we had before, they were basically right off the scales, and now we're only seeing a few, but we are still seeing some small tremors in here. Makes you wonder, and it's kind of steady as she goes. It did pick up a little bit near the latter part of the day, but still kind of down in the dumps here, and that is what we've got. Hey, Kevin Haynes is here. Welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. Yep, purple is trending up, the extremely low frequency, and that is that's the lowest frequency that you get in there, and that's the one that picks up the very quiet vibrations, if you will, or the lowest of vibrations, and that is kind of cool. Anyway, let's carry on here. So Astia is okay, and we're going to go down, take a look at the Grimsey real quick. Grimsey chart. Will I get to it here? Give me a second. And Grimsey. There's Grimsey, and Grimsey is pretty much steady as she goes. A little up, little down, little up, but that's about it. We're not seeing anything eruptive coming out of that area, so we'll leave that guy be. And that's okay. And going to the Grindavik chart, and that one does look like it's gone through its dip and coming back up a little bit. So I'm wondering if we are seeing a little bit more tectonic action happening in the area, or all of Iceland really. And when we see a general uptick on most of these areas, it would be pretty cool. Dr. Fox on the Rumble chart is HBT. Heard a breed? I don't know if HBT is. Let's take a look here. HBT, where is it? Lots. Oh, HBT. I don't know. I've never seen that one on here before. Things that make you go, I don't know if it is or not. That's a very good question, Sue. I'm going to have to find out. Because typically they write the name before, and they didn't on this one. So I wonder if it is. Could definitely be. It does look like it has the right type of activity for that area. So we'll maybe have to take a look and find out if that is in fact what it is. Anyway, we'll put her back to our Fragradel and we'll get that lined up here, and there we go. And we'll pop over and take a look at the millions and millions of earthquakes today. No, there's not that many. A matter of fact, oh my God, really? I looked before, and it was 31 last time I checked. You got to be kidding me. This is unreal. If there's only 5 quakes there right now in the last 24 hours, that is amazing. And I will zoom in here a little bit. Give it a second. Welcome to Philomena. Glad to have you on board. And yeah, it doesn't make any sense if there's only 5 little quakes here. Something's got to be wrong with the page, and we might refresh that. Let me refresh it and just see. It's indicating 5 earthquakes in the last 24 hours. That is very, very low. Pressure building, well, actually at 5 earthquakes, you're not building any pressure. There, that's more like it. I wonder what it was set on. Something didn't load right. There we go. 155, that's a little bit better. And I can believe that a lot easier than 5. So anyway, let's scoot through these and take a look and see what we've got. Starting up in the northern ends here. And we'll start out with this 1.5 in magnitude, 5.4 kilometers down from 1358. And that, of course, is up here in the Grimsey area. And why is that not on a go? Come on. Something wrong with this chart? All right, something is not working. Let's refresh that. Let's try that again. Okay, something really going weird here. I've been having some really odd issues with my browser today, and actually most of it came along just prior to starting the show here, and I thought, well, I can't exactly reboot everything before the show here, but we'll see. No, that is just not cooperating. I'll see if we can paste and go, and see if that makes a difference. We got rid of the other one. All right, sliding that down. That works so far. Zooming in, and we got that 1.5. There we go. I think it's going to work now. 1.4 magnitude, 5 kilometers down, 1754 for that guy. This one is a little bit older, 1.6, 8.2 kilometers down, 2:42 a.m. Then we've got a 1.4, 8.7 kilometers down, 49 minutes after midnight. Moving on here, we see a 1.2, 5.2 kilometers down from 1358. And then we carry on with a 1.4, 3.4 kilometers down from 1633. Next one over 1.5 and 6.1 kilometers down from 2133 was the time on that guy. And then from 1652, we had a magnitude 1.2, 8.5 kilometers down. None of those are going to scare us, as far as I can tell. And then we've got a 1.1 down here, 6.4 kilometers down from, what is it, 2318 time-wise. And we also have a 0.9, 12.3 kilometers down from 2317. I wonder if that's a coincidence that they're very close together. We got the 1.1, the other one is a 1, and that is 8.7 kilometers down, 2317 as well. So that is all in one spot, nothing super there. Sharon Stewart, wow, gifted 5 memberships. That is awesome. Sharon Stewart. And I gotta write that down. There we go, gifted 5, and I see Robert Frary already got lucky and got one of those. Way to go, Robert, and awesome. Next, earthquake here, a 0.63 in magnitude, 10 kilometers down from 1524. And then we see an older 9.9 over here from 2:18 a.m., 4.7 kilometers down. And let's slide down a little bit more and take a look. We see this 0 right here, really not going to be anything serious. 1.2 kilometers down, 1839. Let's look right at the ones right around Ascha first. We have 4 of them, 0.5, 4.9 clicks down, 2137. There we go. The other one is 2138, 0.6, 3.9 kilometers down. Then from 11:59 a.m. We had a 0.7, 5.2 kilometers down, and we also had a 0.4 from 6:02 a.m. 5.2 clicks down. And let's grab this 0.75 over here. 2.8 kilometers down for him, and that was from 3:18 a.m. And let's look at this little stack over here and see if anything imminent is coming out of it. And that's pretty shallow. 1.5, 1.1 kilometer down from 2033. 0.9, same thing, 1.3 kilometers down, 2259 for that guy. And 0.7 of a kilometer down, or 700 meters, for this 0.31 from 4:59 a.m. And this 1.5 is 1.3 clicks down from 2217. So can something happen there? Maybe. I don't know why that would be what it is, but it is what it is. And we've looked at these ones at Ascha, so let's go over here to Herdeberg, and we see that we still have a fairly good cluster of activity there. Although, when we're looking at them in general, they are a lot smaller than what we've seen before. We'll start out with this 0.9 up top here, 5.2 kilometers down from 2340. Then we've got a 1.39, 4.7 kilometers down, 5 a.m. 1.53, 6.1 clicks down from 1350. And another 1.5, 6.3 kilometers down, 8:27 a.m. This 0.2, 5.2 kilometers down, 9:24. And we're going to start just doing some hit and miss here. 0.9, 5.2 clicks down for him. Let's catch this one on the outside here, another 5.2 kilometers down, and 0.5 21 minutes after 1 p.m. There for that guy. Most of these are very, very small. Let's just grab some of the bigger ones. 1.32, 2.6 kilometers down from 1340 for him. And let's see, 0.2, 5.4 kilometers down 11 minutes after midnight. Since it's already into the next day there right now, but that's what we're seeing there. I don't think most of these, they're so small. 0.2s, 0.3s, here's a 0.76. 1.39 kilometers down 1610, and let's grab this guy. 1.76, 2.2 kilometers down over there, and that was at 907. The other one with him is this guy here, 1.62, 2.8 kilometers down from a 923, and really not anything big in here at all. Let's grab the 1 and see. 4.4 kilometers down from 6:46 a.m. And then we have this 1.38, 4.2 kilometers down, 7:41. The 1.8, 3.2 kilometers down, 1913 is the time on that. 0.95, 4.5 kilometers down, and that is 9:03 a.m. And these other ones are getting way too small here. 3.9 kilometers down for 0.59, 8:25 a.m. A 5-minute warning. Carrots for the donkey. Thank you, Peggy. And yeah, all right. Careful with those carrots. You could take out an eye if you're not careful. 3.3 kilometers down for this 0.5 from 8:36 a.m. And this is getting up on the edge of the vertebrate, and then once we get up top, we did see a 1.7 up there, 2.9 kilometers down, 9:23 a.m. We also see a 0.2, 5.2 clicks down, 19:15 was the time on that. So really nothing major going on there. We don't see them coming up anymore. They're not reacting like what they were before. We're not seeing anything above the 1 kilometer mark, and that is for sure. So I think things there have subsided and are slowing down again. Anyway, let's take a look at these other ones heading towards Grimsvatn and see what is going on there. Anyway, 0.51, 11.4 kilometers down, 9 minutes after 10 a.m. and a very small 0.33, 12.8 kilometers down, 10:10 a.m. And let's see, this would be Bardabunga, nothing over there. And of course, then we've got this one, 0.677, 1.7 kilometers down, and that is 5, Dr. Fox blew my cover. I'm sorry, Peggy. I didn't mean to blow your cover. I thought the only one in there handing out carrots. Oh, never mind. I'll leave that alone. 5:06 a.m. For that 0.67, and then we've got a 0.8, and that is 6:22 a.m. 4.8 kilometers down. And that's fairly far down. Right over here by Grimsvatn, we got a 1.19, 2.2 clicks down, 5:58 a.m. And then a 1.02, and that is 451 meters down. And that was from 1:38 this morning. So not a heck of a lot of activity there. Bigger ones are over here at Katla, 2.64. And that is 155 meters down, happened at 11:58, just before lunch. And then I bet you he was getting hungry. His stomach is growling. 16:57, 2.5, and that is 5.1 kilometers down. And here's another one. Oh, sorry, a 5.2 I meant. This is an also 5.2 clicks down, 0.8 at 13 minutes after midnight. And then the one just above the unspeakable name from 1542 and 48 minutes after, 42 minutes after 3 p.m. Yeah, 4.8 kilometers down. There we got it. 5.2 kilometers down. Holy mackerel, my mouth is just not connected to my brain today. 37 minutes after midnight is when that worked. And let's see, this one, 0.72, 7.3 kilometers down, 13:35 for him, and 2-minute warning. I wonder who that is. 2-minute warning. Thank you, Dr. Fox Break Time. Thanks. 0.89, 6.8 kilometers down, 12:22. And we'll move a little bit closer to our Reykjanes Peninsula, and that's kind of where we like to be anyway. And what did I say about 4 good quakes in our wonderful area? Well, here's where Ragnar is. That's the Siggy Fisher. And lo and behold, we got 4 little quakes. 0.28, 12.6 kilometers down, 3:11 a.m. Then we have from 3:12, 55 minutes, 5.55. Holy mackerel, of 12.7 kilometers down for him. And from 3:02 a.m., 0.39, and that is 9.8 kilometers down. And then we've got a 0.32, 6.3 kilometers down from 5:03 a.m. For that area. Really nothing major going on there. And we'll grab a couple here around Krusevik and see what we've got. 0.35, 4.7 kilometers down, 7:21 a.m. 14:43, and we had a 0.49, 4.8 kilometers down. And this guy is a 0.24 from 11:27, 5.8 kilometers down. And we'll grab this 0.51, 5.4 kieters down. 15:16 was the time on him. And I think I'm going to leave the rest be. There really isn't that many. We do have a 1.7 here, 4.9 kilometers down, 6:20 a.m. Maybe we'll grab this guy here in Grindavik, out in the water. And yes, I'm going to go for a break after this. And 1:49 a.m., 0.34, 3.7 kilometers down. That basically wraps up our earthquakes out there in Iceland anyway. And as the indicator is there, 155 for the last 24 hours, which really is actually a low number for this area. Anyway, glad to have everyone on board here doing their thing. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It would really help out. And we really appreciate it. And also, if you're sitting on the sidelines and you have not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing, just like Eddie Oturo that did there. And thank you, Eddie. And welcome, by the way. And let me find you some, well, it's not fresh canned lava. It's a canned lava, but it's about a year old, and we found some older files here that we kind of wanted to throw out there for you guys. So let's start out with some Cumbre Vieja, and that is what we've got there, and we'll see if we can get that popped up there. All right, so that is file footage. This is one of the beginning times, and then it kind of moves through just random files thrown together of lava cooking, and hopefully you guys enjoy it while I'm taking the break. And we have a bunny back eating again, so that is cool, and we like that. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Great White North, and I'm going to take a 5-minute break or so. Keep smiling, be good, and don't go away. Lots more show to come. Thanks. And that microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you all on board. And we'll get rid of that extra banner. And of course, yeah, the stuff that you're seeing on the screen, that was the early days of Cumbre Vieja in La Palma. And yep, I opened a fresh can of canned lava and figured I'd share it with everyone tonight. Actually, I opened 2 cans, so the other one will show next break. And that is pretty awesome, actually. And I like seeing some of those older files. Pretty wild. What you're seeing on screen right now, though, is the what we call the style lava, and that is more like block lava. It's like a bulldozer. Anything in its path, it basically bulldozes over and beats into submission, and it's done and ruined and so on and so forth. So that's what we got there. But anyway, I'm going to see how much is left in that can. About 5 minutes. I'm going to turn that off for now. We'll freeze it and put it back in the deep freeze for now. Got to keep that canned lava, you know. Why am I getting some audio here? I have to check. I'm magically getting audio from some source. There it is. I found it already. It was my own stream. I had to turn that volume down. And let's see, we do have a few more people that popped in. Welcome to Mona Alfano, and let's see, we got Eddie already. Kananaska's country made it back in, as well as we see Joseph Puderer and Joseph Fields, both. And also Gary 24/7 Live, AZ Skies popped in. Welcome, Gary. And we got everybody. All right, so all cool. Let's go over. We kind of finished up with Iceland. Let's go over, have a look at our next one, and that is, of course, over in Sicily. And Sicily is what it is. We're going to kind of, well, we'll see. Let's wait till it switches. There we go. And want to go back about 6 hours on this. Boy, is this stuff slow tonight for me. And will it go? Oh, it says it was dark 6 hours ago. It got dark early there today for some reason. It must be winter time. Anyway, this is about 10 hours ago that we're seeing there. But I do have the time lapse I made from this morning, so you guys can take a look at that. There we go, and here comes the time lapse. Of course, this is running at 128 times normal speed, so it is kind of quick, but it goes from about 6:45 in the morning to 11 something, roughly 4 hours worth. And it'll give you an opportunity to see what the morning was like. As you can see, it's off-gassing a little bit in the background there, but not that much. So fairly quiet from what we see. Mary Martin, welcome. Glad to have you on board. Anyway, Etna, snow-covered, cooled its jets a little bit, I guess, for the most part. And kind of sitting there doing quiet things. And I know the time lapse doesn't look as amazing when there's no clouds moving around and stuff like that. But we see cloud development there. What is it, around 9 a.m. roughly, we start to see the clouds forming. And it gets a little bit more interesting there. So, yeah. There you can see everything coming together. And Charles Wright, where this is Mount Etna in Sicily, and that is what we're seeing on the screen. And it's not bad. could be better, could be erupting, but we've got problems with the lava workers. They're lazy. We'll keep pushing them though. We'll see what happens. Anyway, things got really cloudy there, and by I think about 11:30 it was done, as far as I'm not going to be able to see too much happening there at all. So that's kind of it, and that's what we've got for today for Mount Etna. And yeah, those clouds look pretty nasty, but at least they started out with some nice clear skies in the morning. Or a little hazy, but still relatively nice, and gave them a good shot at starting the day out. We'll turn that off, and of course that is what it was looking like about 10 hours ago, and of course right now it is in the dark, so we aren't able to see much. There is a little bit of moonlight reflecting off of the snow and smoke in the background for the most part, I guess. Let's show that mouse and cursor. There we go. And you can see up top here, and the plume of smoke going up, and a little bit of that cloud sitting on top, because of course it being very, very cold up there now with all that snow, kind of makes things a little bit more interesting. Anyway, that is Sicily, and as far as tremor charts and so on, kind of between medium and low is where we were at, and I don't have the chart loaded right now, but I did look at it earlier, and it's kind of just hanging in there. It's more or less, you know, downward side of things, so it's being quiet, and I won't see too much coming out of there anytime soon. So fingers crossed that things will change and we'll get some kind of an eruption. Would really be nice. Okay, moving on, we need to go over to the Azores and see if we can get over there real quick. And typically we started out with that. Okay, there we go. And of course in that shot you can't see Pico Island's lights today. And I looked earlier, it was really, really bad weather there too, and very foggy. That view normally looks like this during the daytime if it's nice weather, and it's 18 kilometers between the islands. We are seeing Pico Island off on the other side there, and of course we are on the island of São Jorge. And turning that back off, that is the little harbor down there, all lit up in the bottom, in the little town site. Moving on, looking over at the cove, and no problem telling where the white water is. And when I mentioned about it being rough, it is a rough sea there, and you can see the waves breaking in the cove. And again, what it normally looks like when it's calm is this during the daytime. And you can see off on the left-hand side there's a little dock and stuff like that, and the rock on the right-hand side. Well, that's where those waves are really splashing against and curling up. And then, of course, you see it right down in front here. Massive white water everywhere in here. So you know it's not a good day for a little boat. And let's carry on with looking at the earthquakes. And of course, this is our earthquake map. One of them, we do have two for the area. And this one specifically is for São Jorge, or São Jorge, if you want to say it in Portuguese. Anyway, two quakes today, and they were both in the morning, 51 minutes after midnight for this 2.1, and that is right on the island, of course, and then 52 minutes after midnight for this 1.5. So two distinctive earthquakes, and that is what we've seen right on São Jorge. Let's check the other map, and we'll have to do a refresh just to see what's going on that one, and hopefully that'll go fairly quick. There we go, make that map bigger, and one more time. All right, there we go, and there's some extras we didn't expect before. We do see the two here on Sao George. Anyway, one showing as 24 hours ago 1.5, the other one 2.1, and that is all plenty fine. Then we see two here, and we're gonna zoom in on them a little bit more, separate them. There we go, 20 hours ago 3.8, and I don't know what depth that was. 8 kilometers down, 5 miles down for that guy. Then the other one is 2.1, and that is 5 kilometers, or 3.1 miles down for that one. Gives you a pretty good idea where it is and what it's doing. Anyway, mid-Atlantic ridge going through here, and of course this is what they call the East Azores fault, and it runs all the way over here to just about the Strait of Gibraltar, and that's where it stops. Eurasian plate on this side, African plate on that side, and of course the North American plate on the other side of the mid-Atlantic ridge here. And that's it for earthquakes for that area, and pretty normal, nothing really out of the ordinary. Let's move on to Popocatépetl in Mexico. And Popocatépetl, of course, is about, well, right now we got a Fuego on there, but let me get Popocatépetl on there. And there is a Popocatépetl, and that is right now. The sun has set. It is 1853 there, and according to their clock, so just about 7 p.m. And that is the view right now. You do see some off-gassing, no clouds, some stars up there, really awesome to see. And if we go back, there were a couple of plumes that we wanted to look at. One that was just before sunset here, and there you can already see the stars out in the background, and of course that plume coming out. I just want to check quality, and again it knocked me down. That one is, you know, from 480 it dumps it down to 360. It doesn't make any sense to me, but anyway, that must be YouTube. Beautiful looking plume coming out of there, and you guys can use your pareidolia to figure out what animal that would be today. But that is looking pretty awesome, and very, very neat. And let's see, Real Bounty, welcome. And I have a star. What? Someone gave me a membership. Thank you. And admit, as a German, actually only weekends with it because of the time. Hey, no worries, Real Bounty, and glad that you got that free membership. There was a few issued today, and well, Sharon Stewart purchased 5 of them, 5-pack, and that might be one of them. So congratulations, and that's awesome to see. That's the second one that we've seen given away if you got yours today. Anyway, not bad looking plume out of Popocatépetl. We see that just kind of petered out afterwards. Going back during the day though, let's see how far we can go back here. They had relatively nice weather today, which is good for a change. It's been cloudy there quite a bit as of late, so nice to see a little bit of clear sky. And this, of course, around 1 p.m. a little bit heavier pluming, but nothing really major coming out of it. And if we go back a little bit more here, I'm just trying to find a spot where it actually was blowing out, and that was around here. Maybe just right around here, so that should be about right. 7:20 is what I had written down. I I might be off a few seconds, 7:21 maybe. And let's get it going here. I'm advancing it. Oh, come on, show us some plumage. There we go. There, 7:22 is actually the time. I wrote 7:20 on my sheet. Darn it. Anyway, definitely not as quick and speedy as Fuego as far as the eruptions are concerned. Thank you for that 5-minute warning, by the way, Piggy. And it is nonetheless doing its thing. And that time it did have a fairly dark demeanor to the ash and everything else that's coming out, soot and possibly out some fragments of tephra, lava coming out, that kind of stuff when it first popped. So that's kind of nice to see a little bit, and you know, it's doing its thing, but not often. And then we get back into the very early morning hours, and that would be about here 5:06 a.m. and you see it had done one little puff, and now it's actually working on the next one. And again, like I said, this is a lot slower material coming out than what we see at Fuego. So that's kind of what we had going on there. Gives you a little bit of an insight to a Popocatépetl, and that is pretty awesome. All right, let's move on. That's the other view right now as well, and that actually is not a bad view. And if we click back on that, I don't know if it'll move or not. Again, we've got silly things going on with the browser. I'm not sure what it's trying to do, or if they designed it to go bad and make you update things. That's always their solution. All right, come on, picture, come back on the screen. There we go. That is what it looked like. So not too bad, but let's go back over to Fuego here, and we'll see what it looked like. And this is actually at Fuego right now, and that is what you're seeing. It is continuing to erupt. It has been doing a lot of that today, and we really like it. And there were, just before the camera switched over to black and white, we did see some awesome lava coming out of there, as far as it spurting up, and bolts of lightning and the like. So very cool. And I'm just trying to get it back here in the wee hours of the morning. There were a couple of plumes that were out of the clouds, and I'm just trying to find where they were here. And well, this one right around here. This was from about 8:30. You could barely see the top of the volcano. Pardon me. And there you've seen some of that material shoot up and out. And of course, in comparison to Popocatépetl, this stuff really moves. You know, it is being ejected out with a lot more force. So very nasty, like, if you want to call it that, or neat, whichever you like, and that's all good. We do have another bunny eating right now, for those who need to know. And bunny, yeah, ouch, minus 13. Yeah, wait, Piggy, it's going to go down to minus 25 tonight. And yep, I know that Poppet is there looking to take my leg off. Anyway, all you good people, it is break time. I am going to throw some more canned lava at you, and we'll see if we can get over to that. Actually, we're going to leave on that file. I'm going to put the other one on, and let's see if we can get that one going. And this one is, again, Canary Islands about a year ago, so we'll let that play for you. I am your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please hit it for Cumbre Vieja. That would really be awesome. And also, if you're new and you're sitting on the sidelines, please do consider hitting that subscribe button if you feel we've earned it. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, in very snowy Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes with some bacon seeds. Yay! I'll be back. And the microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I hope you are enjoying that fresh canned lava that we've got on the screen. And it is actually a nice change to see some of it. And it is pretty awesome to really see how much that thing was erupting. And thank you for the welcome backs from Piggy. Welcome, Daddy Fox. Thanks. Oh, Mummy of Hamster says, welcome back, Uncle Doc, with an ice cream. Awesome. And thank you, Sue Hayes and Kevin Haynes and Dave Crook and Philomena and Thor. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart for reals. Okay, cool. And thanks, Mona. Fresh canned? Yep. Freshly canned lava. And I just opened the can up today, Kate. It's been sitting on the shelf for a while, and we figured we better use some of it before the expiry date hits. Apparently canned stuff expires after a while. I'm not sure why, but apparently it does. Anyway, we're going to park that for right now. All my other cans say that they expire anyway. Thor gifted a membership, and thanks, Thor gifted one membership, and that is awesome. Thank you very kindly. And yeah, apparently everything has expiry dates on it now. I don't know why. Even my canned lava, it's just weird. Anyway, let's get over and have a look at the bacon seeds, and before we get sidetracked by some kind of squirrel or something. And let's see what we can do here. And of course, these were the two cuties that we left off with yesterday. So let's have a look at the new ones for today. And there we go. And he looks awful familiar, but I don't know. Anyway, a nice looking little piggy, and definitely he actually he's smirking, but I think he might want to eat that camera. Anyway, looking good. I like that. And we will, where, squirrel? Where, Sharon? Where? Anyway, here's our next little bacon seed, and what a little cutie. Little fuzzy, but what a cutie. I like it. And I carry on and take a look at the next one. And yep, it is a cute little bacon seed. You know, how could you not enjoy having one of them around? And here's one that is looking to get comfortable in his bed, wearing a little sweater, of course, and smirking, going, it's nap time. And definitely looks like he's enjoying his blanket in the basket and doing his thing. So awesome to see these wonderful little bacon seeds. And next one is this guy, and he's sitting on his pillows or on some white stuff. He looks comfy there, kind of, I don't know, almost like an ornamental. So pretty neat. Obviously a clean living pig living in a white couch or whatever it is. Looking pretty darn good if you ask me. So a bunch of little cute guys today. Next one is this one, and that's a little cutie too. And this one is got a little more color he's standing on, but he's got racing stripes and smirking at the camera. I love it. So anyway, one more bacon seed to go, and Rusty. Yep, we'll call him Rusty. And he does kind of look a little rusty. And there we go. Our last little bacon seed. And of course, that one is on a blue background. Very impressive. And he's sniffing his flowers. I gotta love it, you guys. So, good name, Sue. Yep. And oh my, Squeak, too cute. Anyway, this one's got racing stripes too. He looks a little younger, but you know, the nice thing about them is these ones, they have their bellies full. They're not skinny, and I like that. I'm always, when I look at an animal, the first thing I see the appearance of the animal. If it's well fed and it's got a nice round belly and the meat is in the right places, and I'm not talking about that for bacon material, but in general, whether it's a dog or a pig or a horse or whatever, you can look at the animal and you can see it's been well fed, nourished, and looking, reasonable, as opposed to something that is underfed and skinny, and you can see the ribs and that kind of thing. And always worries me about those poor animals that they aren't getting what they need, and the owners don't care, right? And in a lot of cases. But hey, it is one of those things, and thanks, Piggy, for agreeing with that. It's just the way it is. For me, I want to make sure that they are well fed. I mean, if we eat well, they eat well, everybody's happy, and that's how it goes. Let's take a look at Merapi and see if Merapi will make us happy. And of course, the picture is a little bit better. Today, 8:14 a.m. It's a present time there. That is what it looks like right now. We do see it spewing out some ash slash smoke and steam and everything else. Old Mummy of Hamster says, my fur babies are spoiled rotten. Yep, and spoiling them rotten isn't a bad thing, Old Mummy of Hamsters. I think it really is kind of nice. Anyway, looking at what we've got there, it's pretty good right now. A little better picture there, and of course we see it is even earlier there was continuing to off gas fairly well, 6:38 in the morning. If we move back though into the darkness, we did have the moon out, so we should be able to see some of that at night. We do see it has either a lens flare or water or something, a droplet on the lens on that shot, but it's 4:26 a.m. For that. I didn't see any lava though, and even 2:14, we didn't see that other drop that might be sitting on there, but it was a little on the fuzzy side. But again, still off gassing, nothing major coming out. And we'll back that up a little bit more and take a look at 30 minutes after midnight, a little bit more hazy and out of focus, unfortunately, but it is there doing its thing. So that's what we've got today from Merapi. And I mean, I'm not going to say it's making us happy, but it definitely did its thing. Just looking at the ongoing chart they've got here, a little bit of a rumble, so that's what is causing it to get a little bit rough up top there, and we can see that in their chart that they've imposed on the screen. Pretty awesome. Let's zip over to our wonderful Ruapehu in New Zealand and see how it looks. And you can see it's just getting covered up by those clouds. Let's back up a little bit and see if it was a little better like an hour ago maybe. And yeah, you can see a little bit more of it, but not by much. And if we go back, say about 3 hours, I don't know if it's any better or not. There we go. Really not. They've got those low-level clouds in there. Nothing we can do about them. And we'll take a look here a little further back. Oh, I don't know what the camera was looking at there, but it doesn't look like it's looking at a Ruapehu. And neither is that shot. That's about 8 hours ago here, and we wouldn't be able to see it anyway. So that is it for there. We'll put that back on live, and we'll send it back on Merapi, and that'll keep us happy for now. Moving on to Semeru, and Semeru is doing its thing. Let's see if we can improve the picture quality from absolutely a low to almost something we can use. So there we go. And yep, I knew it. They cut us back, and there we go. A little bit better right there. If we look at just the crater by itself, that is kind of like there. You can see a little bit better, and you can see a lot more detail. And of course, it is off-gassing and smoking pretty heavily there. And if we go back a bunch of hours, let's go back about 2 hours here, see what it looked like then. And that was fairly quiet. That's before the sun hit it, 6:15 a.m. So not bad. And we had about another hour back, roughly. Let's see if we can get into the right spot here. And there's a little bit of plumage coming up, and you can see that. And again, this is not super fast ejections or anything like that, so it's just basically, hey, it's something bubbling in the caldera there, and it pops up every once in a while. So that is what we're seeing at that point. If we go back a little bit further, I'm trying to see where we can get back to our next one here. And this is 4:10 a.m. You can definitely see the lava in there glowing, and we'll move that ahead to where the there it is, and a little bit of ejection at that time. You can actually see some lava coming over the sides of the caldera wall, and that is pretty nice. So kind of a little extra shot there, a little extra bacon, if you will, and we did like that one. Unfortunately, not enough bacon. So, yep, definitely something cooking in there. And really is, it's nice to see, but I know we really want to see the bacon coming down the hill, and we're just not seeing that. And that is something that we love to see, the bacon. But anyway, this does give you a pretty good idea, though, that this thing is continuing to erupt, do its thing, and of course do a wonderful thing, and that is what we've got going on there. Let's see if we can back that up a little bit more. I know it was in the clouds earlier, and get right about here. That was another one of the shots in there, and again, you see that cloud was just starting to dissipate a little bit, but you do see a little bit more of the caldera fires doing their thing. Not sure, hang on, I had another spot here I wanted to look at, and that would be right around here. And this was at just before 2 a.m. their time. Fairly black material coming out. Now, the reason the clouds are so white is because it is a moonlit night, and that is what you're seeing. So pretty awesome, and yeah, it's kind of weird to see that. There should be a little bit more coming out here, though. I thought we had a little bit of ejecta coming out as well. Maybe we'll just keep going ahead here 5 seconds at a time till we get to it. Or maybe I'm going to double check. Maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, I'm not sure. That didn't look like it. So we'll leave that be. There was another one a ways back here, and that one kind of plumed up too. And again, really not that much activity coming out of it, like not massive amounts of lava like what we've seen in some of the other wonderful volcanoes, but we know they're still very active, and on occasion they do throw some stuff out. So cool to see that, and let's carry on with our stream. I'm not going to worry about that. The rest was kind of hit and miss in the clouds. So I'll leave that there. Let's go over to Sakurajima in Japan, and we'll take a look and see what that guy is doing. And we'll get that on the screen and check the quality. There we go. So 10:23 a.m. there in Japan, and that is a current shot of what we see from Sakurajima. Very quiet looking, and even if we go back during the day, one of the things, like when I peek at these things, I scroll back and I try to see, where the pluming is, where we see a lot of ejecta or stuff like that. And really, it's been very, very quiet for the most part for the material coming off of Sakurajima at 5:55 a.m. and that's kind of what we've seen there. And right around here, this was another little shot, and again, it looks like the other ones were always on this side of the caldera. This one is on the opposite side, a little bit different, so I'm not sure what's going on there. And I'm wondering if that is the fish police down here with their blinkers on. They're after some stolen fish, maybe. I have no idea. Anyway, that is what it kind of looked like there. Let's pop over to the other one. We'll take a look and get the quality going on that. It says 1080p. That's not 1080p. Refresh that. There we go. That's better. Ice cream boat is in. And if you want your ice cream, you better hurry up and get down there real quick. Down the road here, along the edge there, and then at the lights, and you hang a left and get down to the docks. You can get your ice cream. Thank you for the 5-minute warning, Piggy. And there we go. That is what we've got going on. The fish police, yep. They'll make sure that you didn't get more than your quota. Or that you didn't bring any silly cats back. Not silly cats, but silly cat, as in the extinct fish that they found. I kind of get a chuckle out of that, but that one is still alive, a 400 million year old fish. Pretty awesome, and that's kind of neat. Well, the fish itself wasn't 400 years old, but the 400 million years, they've been around for a while. Silly cat. Oh, you spelled it right, Colin. Very good. And all cool. Kevin Haynes throws out a membership as well for someone to grab. And let me write that down, Kevin Haynes. And thank you kindly for donating that one gift membership. And we'll see if somebody gets that one. I haven't seen how many got theirs today. I only see one on the board so far. Sharon Stewart threw in a 5-pack, and then Thor did one, and you as well, Kevin. And I thank you all for it, but only one has been given away so far, according to YouTube on my screen. So very, very cool. Anyway, we are looking at the close-up of the Sakurajima crater, and you can see that's what it looks like at present. If we go back a little bit and the earlier portions of the day, you can see it a little bit more close up here in the darker times. And it really wasn't doing anything. We don't see any lava bubbling or anything like that down below, and that's kind of what it is. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'll leave it there. I'm going to put that one back to live as well. And that is what it is right now. And of course the ice cream boat is still there. So hopefully you all got your ice cream. And I wonder if there's a shortcut coming down here and then going over to the dock. I don't know if there is or not, but just a thought. Anyway, let's take a look at the other wonderful volcano that we like looking at, and of course that is Aso-san. And Aso is, of course, in Japan as well. And let's see, that's a little better. There we go. You can see it is giving a bunch of steam out of its caldera. It is rated as a green right now. And so the only thing that we see from it, of course, it has a lake inside that caldera. And that is gets heated up and starts steaming off. You know, it has its moments, right? And, sometimes not enough heat. Other times we see a lot of steam coming out, and that is pretty cool. But we're waiting for a big earthquake to crack open the bottom of that caldera and let that water get down inside, and then we can watch it go boom, boom, boom. Fingers crossed, and we will see what happens. Echo the Bot renews his membership as a 4-month member. Excellent. Hello, hello, hello. Echo, echo, echo. And that is wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Echo, echo, echo. All right. It is time for a break, and we will put you back onto that wonderful canned lava that we had. Let me get this back over in the right spot. There we go. And we're going to continue on with having a look at the wonderful canned lava. It's a fresh can I opened up earlier here today. And of course, that is from last year from Cumbre Vieja in La Palma. And that wonderful volcano was doing a fantastic job. Unfortunately, it was somewhat destructive. So it is what it is. Don't go anywhere, you guys. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Also subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And please stick around. Lots more show to come. I'm your host, DrFox2000 here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Thanks. microphone is back on, so welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. And Piggy, good night to you. Sleep well and get some rest. And hopefully you'll have a wonderful day tomorrow and all awesome. Anyway, glad to have everyone on board, and welcome back Uncle Doc from Old Mummy of Hamsters, and Sue Hayes, and Grandma B throwing a welcome back in as well. Kathy, aloha. And I kind of snickered because you accidentally put 1:30 a.m. rather than 1:30 p.m. on there, and I'm thinking to myself, hang on, where in Hawaii is she? And no worries, it's all good, just picking on you. Thanks, Kananaskis Country, and Kevin Haynes, Paul Williams, and Pistol Pete is here, welcome, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart, so all good. And DJ Puff the Third just popped in as well. So awesome, and glad to have everyone on board, and thank you for the welcomes back. And I see our likes are at 84. If anyone hasn't hit that button, of course, we're trying to get over that 100 mark, and hopefully that'll happen. And of course, the stuff on the screen that you see there, it says Cumbre Vieja volcano from La Palma, Canary Islands. This was a fresh can of canned lava that I opened up today, and I thought today was a cold and miserable day outside, so we'll use a new fresh can before it expires. And I'm not sure exactly when they expire, but that stuff is dated, and if we don't use it, we'll lose it. Anyway, that is what we were seeing, so pretty awesome. I'm going to actually park that lava. That can still has some in it, and we want to save that for the end of the show maybe, and all good. I might have to actually back that one up, and we'll probably do that right now, so I'll leave it there. Okay, hit the OK button. Next, a volcano on our list, of course, and we did have a look at Japan, and all quiet there as far as we can tell. Let's go over to Taal, and that is our present view of Taal in the Philippines, and of course Taal volcano inside Taal Lake, and it is actually fairly tall, and it is 1,032 feet above sea level, so that is a fair size, and a lot of people don't realize that when they're looking at that picture, that this peak over here is actually 1,032 feet above sea level, so pretty awesome. And we are, of course, on the side of a hill up on top of an apartment building far away from that actual volcano, so that's why it looks so small. But Taal is actually fairly tall for what it is. Now, if you can imagine, that used to be 3,000 feet, this thing, and so 3 times the height of what we see here, so it would have come up to about here before, and maybe a little higher, this cloud. So that's kind of neat and interesting for us. Little things that people don't know, that blew itself to bits and pieces a while back. And we'll carry on with our next volcano, and we'll take a look, and of course that is Yellowstone, the super volcano. And of course Yellowstone right now is getting dark, and it's been a very snowy day there in Yellowstone, and not much we can do about it. Aloha, hugs, and good to be here. Excellent, Kathy, and glad that you're on board. Nice pools. Yep, you bet, Sharon. And yeah, the super duper volcano, except for it looks awful cold for a super volcano, doesn't it? Looks more like the inside of a refrigerator. Anyway, typically during the daytime views, if you have this on, you can view some of the 500 plus active geysers they have in the area. And of course, if you want to bring that up for yourself, just type in a Yellowstone or a Jellystone, either or, and that'll pop up the link for you and allow you to take a look. Oh, you want to take a look at the weather? I'm curious about that too, oh mummy of hamsters. And we'll see what Yellowstone comes up as. There we go, -4 degrees Celsius, cloudy with a temperature of 24 Fahrenheit, -4 Celsius. Winds blowing from the south at 7 miles per hour, 11 kilometers per hour. It doesn't say anything about the snow. Mind you, it doesn't say anything about snow here right now either, yet it is snowing. So I wonder why the weathermen always leave that little fact out. But never mind. Well, I'll leave that be. And thanks, Bob, for bringing up that link. We'll head on over to someplace a little warmer. They have palm trees over there. And of course, that is not too far away from Kathy. And Kathy will confirm they have palm trees. Right, Kathy? Nice palm trees. Hang on. Okay, I got that microphone back on. I had to, I was thinking I'm going to sneeze, but I figured, all right, maybe we'll turn it into a cough or something. And there we go. So from 7:09 a.m., this is what our lava pond looked like there in the wonderful caldera of Kilauea. And you can see that it has a little bit more stuff falling in on the edges here, which is kind of neat. And we also see a very light glow spot right here. And that, of course, is an indicator that we've got gas bubbles coming up as the lava is draining down and away into the abyss of wherever it goes underneath. As many palm trees, I have a big kukui nut tree. I have never had a kukui nut. I don't know what that is. I really don't know if I'm pronouncing it right either. But I'll trust you on that, Kathy. And I'll have to look that up later. Anyway, bubbling up of gases as the lava is draining out, and we can see that same process over here. As the gas bubbles come up, they break up this very thin crusting over layer that they have on top of the lava as it flows in, and you can see the paths that it takes. And then, of course, once it gets too much pressure on it, it'll change over and go in the other directions, that kind of thing. Looks really cool. I'm going to refresh that one. We'll see what it is there. And that is what it looks like at present. And we can see some of those lava lines. That lava level sure is a lot lower in here today. That has gone down from this morning to now. You see this was right at the same level, and now it looks like it's another meter below it, and that is not good. We want more lava. We need lava. Let's protest. We need lava. And of course, you see the big cracks along here. This whole area in here is susceptible to dropping in, and as we see, it is continuing to break off bit by bit and making that lava pond a little bit larger. The feed is over here. It's via a lava tube, and that is coming down the hill there from the main vent. We do see over here some more light spots, and of course that is where that lava is draining out. We need to plug those and save the lava and get the level right back up to the top of the lava pond here. Toe area looks very empty as well. Let's have a look at some of the other shots. This one again, 9:27 a.m. is what that is from. Primary vent right here, very hard to see, but there is a little hornito there, and that's where the lava tube is. And there's your lava pond. The tow area hard to see as well. Lots of smoke around on the sides of the caldera. Still doing its thing. I'm going to refresh that picture, get a current one, and I'm refreshing. There we go, and that looks a little better. Again, primary vent. The smoke coming out of that hornito right there, showing where it is. We do still see on the side here some smoke coming up from the edges up fairly high on the caldera wall. Always suspect of that area. And we see other spots in the back here off gassing as well with some steam and stuff. And not a bad shot. Let's take a look from this side over. And that is this shot, of course. And again, 9:01 a.m. For that shot. Lava pond right there. Primary vent is right there in the hornito. You can see where that smoke is coming from. That's about where the hornito is. And we can't see the lava tube today, unfortunately. Let's refresh that picture. Maybe it'll get better. And well, it gets better, but the sun is on a different angle, so hard to see. You can see the tow area here, lava pond. You see a little bit of Pig Island, but not much. And primary vent in here, a little smoke again from the hornito right in the back there. Quick peek at the thermal images, and of course this one, there's your primary vent there. There's a little hornito, and then there's a lava tube in here dumping that lava into the lava pond. There's your tow area, and then of course over here on the other side, this is developing and getting bigger and bigger. I don't know if it'll subside now that the lava level in here is dropping, but we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's refresh that. So this is the shot from earlier. Oh, hang on, that is fairly fresh. It says 12:14. Yeah, it is a current shot, so never mind that. Can't update it. It is updated. And let's zip over to Mauna Loa, and we'll take a look at what Mauna Loa looks like. This was at 9:16 a.m., and that was the caldera, of course, of Mauna Loa. And we'll refresh that guy, take a look and see what it looks like now. Got some clouds in the way, but yep, everything is still intact. I don't see any massive lava fountains, so that is about it there. Let's pop over to the earthquake map, and we'll take a look and see what we've got for quakes out there in Hawaii. And waiting for my stuff to react here. There we go. And zooming in, and of course there you can see the entire Hawaiian island chain, and including some of those shoals and everything that have subducted after a while. Zooming in a little bit onto the big island of Hawaii, and of course I will start down here in what they refer to as the Pahala area. This is actually out quite a ways, and that might be on Luihi Seamound. We'll take a quick peek. No, it is not. Luihi Seamound is here, so this is way in from there, but it is a 1.8, 7:21 a.m., 31.5 kilometers down, standard depth. And when I say standard, they're all between about 26 and 37 kilometers down in this Pahala area. So that is kind of what we got. Another 1.8, 1:35 a.m. Standard depth, and then we got 2.1 from 1434, and there's another 1.8, and that was from 6:50 a.m. and we'll get the last one out in the water here. That's a 2.2, and that is from 1743. I'm going to put it back on this view now, and we'll zoom in a little bit more here. There's the town of Palma right there, and of course we'll take a look at these 2.2 from 2:13 a.m. That one's actually a little deeper at 39.4 kilometers. This one is a 2.0 from 2:11 a.m. This guy 1.9 from 6:18, and then we've got this one here is 1.9 from 4:21 a.m. And let's move over and grab these other ones here. 1.9 from 14:38, and this guy here is a 2.3 from 5:25 a.m. That's the quakes in the Pahala area, the newer ones. Let's get up to Mauna Loa, and of course, I actually watched GeoHub today about Mauna Loa, and these guys over here, these extra little quakes, this is just the remnants or reaction of our wonderful uplift that we've seen there. DJ Puff, I've been not been feeling the best. I'm trying to getting when I can. Okay, DJ, thanks for renewing, and Perfectibility also renewed membership. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Anyway, so yeah, this is really, and there's no magnetic issues over here. This is all strictly from tectonic action of the ground lifting and subsiding, and that's why we're seeing those quakes. And the other thing Geology Hub mentioned is that right now it's kind of quietening down again, and it really doesn't look like it's going to erupt anytime soon, according to him. But you know, it's a volcano, so he did leave it open-ended. With it's always hard to tell, right? Anyway, at 1.8, 2.4 kilometers below sea level from 12:34 for that guy. This one 1.7, 12:43 backwards, and that is up in the mountain at 1.6 kilometers above sea level. Next one is 1.8, 2:56 a.m., 300 meters above sea level. This one right underneath the caldera is 7:04 a.m., 1.8 and 300 meters above sea level. Then we've got a 1.8 from 12:51, and that is a kilometer and a half above sea level, right underneath the caldera. Wow, still about a kilometer and a half or a little more below that caldera, but still there. 1.8, and that is from 9:12 a.m., 2 kilometers above the seafloor. So that is what we've got there. We do see over here, and we had one there not too long ago, but Mauna Kea, 2.3, and that was from 7:22 a.m., 20.3 kilometers down for that guy. We don't see any other ones. We don't see anything on Maui, or nothing on Oahu. Pretty quiet for those good people. Zooming out a little bit and looking at my time just to make sure I still have enough time. Let's grab a few earthquakes that have been happening around the world here. And everything looking pretty normal in our North American side, the San Andreas fault line, as well as the Imperial fault. We do have that older one here already, 6.1, but we don't see any more happening there. And Coco's plate is being quiet today and not pushing in too much. And we only see one here, Argentina or Chile? Argentina for that one. 4.5 from 1828, 179 kilometers down for that guy. I'm going to turn that off. Sliding over to New Zealand, we don't see anything fresh in New Zealand. And looking at the Kermadec Ridge, not much happening. We do see this guy here, considered Fiji Islands. 4.5, 11, 14 is the time on it. 510 kilometers down. Real close to Yasur in Vanuatu is this guy, and that is a 5.2 from 1826, 10 kilometers down for him. Looks like, what is this, Solomon Islands or Papua New Guinea? Yeah, Solomon's would be here, and that is Papua New Guinea, and that is 4.5 from 856, 191.6 kilometers down. This guy real close to Ibu and Dakono, and that is a 4.5. Maluka Sea area, 85.2 kilometers down from him. And then we have a 5.2 here in the Philippines, northern end, 40.2 kilometers down, was yesterday's from 2234. Sliding up the Japanese islands, rocking a little bit more, 4.7 from yesterday at 1934, 10 kilometers down for him. And this one is from today at 1240, and that was 16 kilometers down, 4.5 for that guy. Sliding up to the Kamchatka Peninsula, and we keep hearing of more activity up at what is it, Chikaratsky? No, the northern one. Hang on, it'll come to me. Never mind, I'm thinking of Philippines right now. Anyway, well, it'll get to me once we get to the map. This one, 5.0, of course, Shivalish. That's it. Yeah, I got it, Sue. Shivalish. Before you said it, and that's all good. My brain works in a mysterious way, sometimes not straightforward. Anyway, 10 kilometers down, 20 minutes after midnight for that guy. The other one is another 5.0, and that was at 3:56 a.m., 40.5 kilometers down for him. And let's see, we didn't get that guy. Yep, we got him, a 5.2. Going into, is that Afghanistan up there? Yep, 5.4. And yesterday's from 2025, 103.1 kilometers down. We don't see anything in the Piggy's area, and that is just about it for our earthquakes. The only newer one that we see right there is 4.5 in Chile, and of course Vanuatu with that 5.2. Everything else looks pretty quiet. Let's take a look at the Azores. No, not the Azores. Canary Island. How about that? That's a better place. I like that. They got palm trees there. I don't think they got any palm trees in the Azores. Anyway, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I want to see those other quakes. There they are. And this is a 4.8, and that happened at 4:32 a.m. And that is interesting to see, and that is 36 kilometers down, and that is the East Azores Ridge, and that is emanating from, and then we also had a 4.3 from 8:51 a.m. out there, and that 4.3 is 33 kilometers down, and that is kind of what we're seeing in that area. Let's take a look at La Palma. I see the stars down on the bottom here. Frontera is where it's blinking, and that is a 2.1 from 1629, and let's see, 2.1, 8 kilometers down for him. Let's zoom into La Palma though, and we'll see what we've got for quakes today, and we really don't have a lot. There's a one right there, a 0.9, and that is 5:41 a.m., 8 kilometers down for him. And the other one is likely some collapse of some old tubes or something, 1.4, and that is 3 kilometers down from 1311. So there we go. Let's see what the moon does. Even the sun is calm. Oh, mahalo. Nui. Aha. Okay. Well, I don't think the moon's going to affect it too much. And just to run through that again, actually, it is break time. I'm going to go take a break, guys. I need to. Well, figure that out afterwards. When we get back from the break, we'll take a look at our volcano map. I'm going to refresh that now so it'll be ready to go. And for those good people who are here, please, if you are enjoying the show, give that a like button a quick bop and help us out. We're definitely trying to push it well over that 100 mark, and that'll allow the YouTube analytics to do their thing. And hey, Yvonne Kunkel, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And that is what I got to do now. Poke you guys to hit that like button. Come on, hit that like button. All right, I'm putting more canned lava back on, and we'll keep that freshly opened can of canned lava. And Yvonne even remembers some of this lava coming out. All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes or so, you guys. Keep smiling, be good, play nice in the lava, and no throwing lava bombs at each other. That hurts. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Don't go away. More show to come. Thank you. That microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board. And yeah, I don't know if I mentioned the uplift at the Snowcano yesterday was well over 1 meter, and that was tremendous amount of uplift. Today it's unfortunately only a few centimeters so far. I think about 6 or 7 centimeters of uplift. Nonetheless, that is it's getting there. We've got to wonder about what's going to happen in the future. And thank you for the welcome backs from Alba Girl and Sue Hayes and Yvonne Kunkel and Kevin Haynes and DJ, I suppose, and that is a mic on with a fox. And of course, Sharon Stewart saying, I hear you on DrFox2000. And Alba, wow. Okay. Oh yeah, that is a lot of uplift for one day, Alba Girl. And a lot of volcanoes only get that kind of uplift over, years and years. And that is what we got. Dr. What? Doxy, Doc? Doxy Doc? Okay. Anyway, yep, my fresh canned lava here is working out fairly well. And of course, those good people who are not familiar with this footage, and this was Cumbre Vieja from last year. And that is pretty awesome to see. I did throw together a few files here, and figured we would resuscitate them and let you enjoy them again. And some of it is probably even unseen footage for some of you, but very cool nonetheless. And it's just a bunch of files put together. It's a joke, Philomena. I took it as a joke, and not a worry. And you're all good, and welcome. Anyway, let's park the canned lava before that can runs out. I'm gonna tip it back upright, and there we go. Since that's only 20 minutes worth in that can, so we gotta be careful. We don't want to spill it all. And we got 84 likes. Thanks, everyone. My screen says 83, but thank you, everyone. And hopefully we'll get a few more to get over that 100 mark. So let's carry on with the show. We did want to show our volcano map from around the world. I'm not going to dwell on it that long, but everything looks pretty much normal. I did refresh it. And of course, up here in Iceland, we still have Eruption and Grimsvatn doing their thing. Azores, we got St. George and Terceira. And then, of course, down here at South Sandwich Islands. I wonder what a South Sandwich tastes like. Anyway, that's Michael Volcano down there. And of course, everything else in the big ring of fire here is all pretty much the same. We do expect more stuff coming out of these guys down here in Chile, and they of course are always cooking their stuff. Semenkaya still working away pretty normal, and everybody here is pretty normal as well in northern South America or Central America. Doing their thing. We still don't see anything else coming from Fernandina. Pretty quiet. And sliding over, looking at the Aleutian Islands up top here. Fairly quiet. Pavlov, Cleveland, Great Sitkins, and of course Semi still doing their thing. And Shivelish up here. Still working away. It's I think the most active on the Kamchatka Peninsula, and we haven't seen too much more. Bezimiani, of course, still right there, and that is Karinsky. And then we've got Ibiko and Chikarachki and Alade right in here, not changed any, and we'll leave those guys be. Zoom back out. Slide down a little bit more, and Sakurajima and Suwanoshijima are still both active and erupting according to this, and minor activity coming from Nishimoshima. That is also Japanese possession there, so that's what we've got. Nothing really new except for a bunch of little quakes, and now 4.2 happened at 11:15, and that is in the Philippines. It says 1 kilometer down for depth, and then 11 hours ago 4.1. So they're rocking up on the northern ends of the Philippines, and that we didn't see on the other maps. Of course, there is Taal, a volcano, and Taal being in the right inside that lake. Well, let's zoom in on the lake here. And where'd we go? We need over. We're on the wrong island. Come on, guys. There we go. We'll zoom it in. I'm trying to get it in the middle of the screen and then zoom in. There we go. All right. So there it is, a Taal volcano. And in this shot, you can actually see that lake that is inside it, and that is pretty cool, pretty awesome to see. And of course that lake water is hotter than this lake water, and this water is actually warmer than normal water as well, just so you're aware of that. And we'll zoom back out. Mion and Bulusan are still there. Can Leon still doing its thing, and we go down here. Ibu and Dakono are still happy. Luolotok is still there doing its thing. Raun, we haven't seen or heard any more of it as of late. Semeru, Merapi, and Krakatau in that area, and then the other ones are all pretty much normal, and nothing new to report. And of course, Tupao and White Isle volcanoes are there in the New Zealand theater, if you will. And of course, out here in Tonga, Tofua, and Home Reef Volcano. Here's that bigger quake right beside Yasur, and that is in Vanuatu. That is pretty much it for our volcanic map. The other ones really are not any different. We still have Erebus down here, Heard Island Volcano, Piton del La Formaise, and not doing anything special. Urta Ale there, and just zooming in. Oh, I don't know. This may be of an interest to Yvonne. She's going for a smoke, but just wanted to let you know, Yvonne, there was reports of Campy had some activity in it, a little bit of uplift, but I don't know if there's any facts to that or not. We'll see. Anyway, Etna still an orange, and Stromboli still tasty, doing its thing right there. Unfortunately, their camera's been down, so we haven't been showing it. Volcano also still there. And if we zoom back out and we look at all this, and for those who aren't aware of where the rest of the world's volcanoes are, we'll turn them on and you can take a look. I know, but nothing bad. Okay, Yvonne, that is good. And yeah, nothing major. I don't think it's kind of like the same thing when you went to the other one there. Oh boy, I forgot the name. Mount Vesuvius, and there we go. And that one was about kind of the same thing, I think, just up and down a little bit. Anyway, there's your world's volcanoes, and you can see how many there actually are. And always amazing, and you know, places that we like to zoom in and just kind of say, hey, you know, for a country that is so small, they've got a lot of volcanoes, and you have to wonder about them. Philadelphia, Ragnar, and we love it. It is on the map, and always nice to see. Okay, we'll leave the earthquake maps, put that, or the volcano map, put it back on here for now so I can find it. Let's get over and have a quick peek. We will do our wonderful SO2 map in a second, and need to get onto that map and switch it. There we are. It is going to refresh and renew maybe, and no, we need to refresh it, and it'll give us a brand new map. And it shows that they've extended our snowfall till around noon tomorrow. Isn't that lovely? Always what you want to see, right? And that is pretty cool. Oh, I didn't want to click there. Let's just take a look at what we got going on up here. Now we see this SO2. It's really being pulled up in the northern Arctic Ocean for some reason. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's better than coming over to Canada. Looking at what we do see in Alaska, not bad, and northern Canada, just a little bit coming in there. The rest is all pretty much normal people pollution. Same thing goes for the U.S. Really nothing too severe. And looking at what we see in Mexico, we still see those weird circulations in here, and that kind of makes you wonder what's really going on with the weatherman and what he's doing. They're spinning the stuff backwards. This plume, of course, coming from Mexico City and Popocatépetl, and then as we go down further south through Central America, we see more plumes coming from some of the other ones. We do have a system here, and it since it's going clockwise, that would be a high sitting right in here right now for the northern hemisphere. A low is going counterclockwise, and we see that here. And something, as you also see, is some of that from the Dominican Republic and the area there. There a lot of people pollution there as well, and that is being pulled into this system. Apparently, this has gained strength and is turned into a hurricane and will end up coming in. We're not sure where it's going to come in, but it's going to head to the west here, and those people in Florida will see what it does. Hopefully it won't be anything too bad. Looking at South America, we see down here, I mentioned the Sabancaya, and it's been active doing its thing. Let's take a quick peek here and see if it shows anything coming out on the daytime portions of the stream. They did get another closer up view of Sabancaya, and we don't see anything erupting from it, so that is no fun. But anyway, we do see the circulations otherwise are still normal, blowing back over the continent and allowing some of that SO2 to get back into the Atlantic Ocean. Sliding over to New Zealand real quick, and as we get a little closer, the White Isle volcano right there doing its thing. And Leo Carlson isn't here today. He's having a huge barbecue, and that is what that plume is from. I'm kidding, and that is the refineries down here. And this plume here, of course, is from the coking plants that are located right there. And sliding over a little bit more, Tofua still continuing its thing. And of course, Vanuatu right there is Yasur, and then his buddies. They're all working away, doing their thing, normal stuff, unattended by lava workers, and that's what we get. Pretty normal there in Papua New Guinea, Luolatok, Semeru, Merapi, and it looks like Krakatau actually might be stepping up a little bit. Jakarta and Krakatau, of course, I'm responsible for that area there. So we may see a little bit more activity from Krakatau in the near future. Ibu and Dakono making that mess there, and they are still at it. And of course, in here, Bulasan, Mayon, and then of course, Taal volcano. Working away to create some of that plume. There's also a lot of people pollution in there, so that is kind of what we got. And looking at the Japanese islands out here, what's Nishimoshima is definitely off-gassing. I don't know what the other one is, but that's still coming from there. And we see Taiwan normal, real bad in China. And of course, down here we'll see some of that plume down here is from Suwanosejima, and of course the darker area here, Sakurajima. So kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Who's kicking the tires? I better not kick mine, man. Digital Dreamer, welcome. Glad to have you on board. And LOL, Gemma, Super Kitty, Dave and Claire, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And good to see you there. All right, sliding up a little bit more. Japan, not too bad. We do see some stuff coming across the pond here. And it is from China or those areas, or maybe even Russia over there. No, that's China. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is Russia. Here's the border, right? And this is Russian area, and that is Chinese area there. So hard to say which one is what. I remember it was kind of a funny thing. I watched one of those documentaries, and you wouldn't believe how many Russian soldiers you have in this area. Apparently, what's his name here? Figured he was going to invade this end of Russia, and then the Russians filled the whole area up with army and troops and stuff, and I think Kim Jong-un changed his mind for some reason. I have no idea why, but anyway, we'll leave that be. And of course, there you see the Kamchatka Peninsula making an arrowhead pointing into the Bering Sea, and we will see what that does in the future. Sliding over a little bit more, not much coming from any of the other ones. Down here is where Erebus is, very little coming from it. And of course, zooming back in here, Piton de la Ruse, no, del what? Del La Formes, there we go. And Reunion Island, I got it. Yeah, it is right there. And of course, the bad people here with their refineries for getting the gold out, smelting plants. This one from two volcanoes here in the DR Congo area, and of course sliding up a little bit more. Urta Ale would be this little spot here. The other red spots in here are oil refineries up in Baghdad, Kuwait, and of course several here in Saudi Arabia. Sliding up and looking at what we see from Etna, and as suspected, not very much output from Etna today. Still substantial, but not anything near what we've had in the past little while. So Etna is calming down. Same with Stromboli, and very little off-gassing from Volcano. And that is about it. And we see very little coming off of Iceland, and not anything to talk about there. That would be me, Todd, Hotel, Whiskey Hotel 6 Delta Whiskey Foxtrot in Honolulu on a volcano watch. And which one are you watching? And Digital Dreamer, Todd, have you ever transmitted from inside Diamond Head? That's got to be one of your feats. Yeah, if you transmit from inside Diamond Head and make at least 100 DX contacts, you're doing good, man. I'm kidding. I have no idea if you can do that. If they'll allow you. I know you can drive in, but just careful when you're doing that. Especially when those big buses are coming out. You don't want to get scraped. Anyway. All right. Quit talking about food. I'm hungry. Who's talking about food? Did I miss something? Oh my God. Kathy, where are you? Kathy, Digital Dreamer is Todd. He's a ham radio operator. No, it's a civil defense. We are making ribs. Ribs. I hope those are beef ribs. That would be better, I think. Anyway, it is break time, you guys, and we will get to the weather after the break. So for right now, I am going to put you back onto that freshly canned lava. That that canned lava. I don't know about how freshly it is. It's been sitting on the shelf for a year now, but I opened it today, so let's see if you enjoy that. And please, for those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, we're still about 5 short to get to that 100 mark. That would really be awesome and really help us out. So please bonk that button and help us out. And also just wanted to mention so far out of the Sharon Stewart gifted 5 memberships. Thor did 1, Kevin Haynes did 1, and Grandma B did 1. And only one of those has been given away. And so if there's anyone else in here, don't gift memberships until some of those get used up. That would be really good for right now. And that's for today's stream. Otherwise, you'll see it and just come back. It's kind of a waste of time. You end up getting refunded by YouTube if nobody gets them. So Digital Dreamer should turn on his gift acceptance thing. That way he could get one too. Same thing with Yvonne Kunkel. Anyway, last smoke before getting ready for work. You take care, Yvonne, and enjoy your smoke, and all the best to you. And be good, stay safe at work, and let us know if anything erupts. That would really be awesome of you. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and we'll be back in about 5 to 6 minutes or so, when we can talk about the storm called Nicole, and that is out going to hit the Florida coastline. I'll be back, you guys. Keep hitting that like button. There's got to be more out there. We need 4 more to make it to 100. I'll be back. Don't go away. And that microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching a VolcanoX live stream. And I see we made it up to that 100 mark, and that is excellent. And thank you, everyone, for the likes. And that is awesome, and does help out with the YouTube analytics. Thank you for the welcome backs from Alba Girl and Sue Hayes. Really appreciate that. And 101, way to go. All right, it's only 100 on my screen, but that's okay. I'll take it, Bob. No worries. And that is great stuff. Okay, let's park our canned lava here for a minute, and we will get on to the rest of our stuff. Am I clicked on the right one? Why is it not there? There we go. All right. And palm tree hug. Thank you, Kathy. And I'd love to have a palm tree growing. They don't grow very well at minus 13 degrees Celsius, though, and snow showers. Anyhow, let's get over to the weather, and that is what I got cooking in here. Or I'm not cooking. It's awful cold in Canada. First off, looking at the whitish cold areas here, minus 45 degrees Celsius in Greenland. And I just about said Iceland again. It should be called Iceland. Seriously, it is cold there, minus 45 degrees Celsius, and even your penguins will start to cringe. Looking at the northern portions of Canada, very cold as well. We do have up here in the Yukon minus 31, 32 degrees, and that is kind of blistering into the Northwest Territories as well. A little bit warmer there in Alaska, but we do see that cold coming down the Rocky Mountains for the most part, getting all the way into Montana. And most of British Columbia is pretty darn cold right now. Looking at Alberta, where I am, of course, they're saying a minus 14 C now. Doesn't surprise me. And we do still have that snowstorm and low down here, kind of pulling in that stuff. So that's going to head to the east. And that is going to get Kananaska's country pretty quick. So he'll be able to enjoy that very, very cold weather. Sliding over a little bit more, we see the northern portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. They've got a high sitting up there, and very cold. Northern portions of Ontario are not that bad, but still fairly cold. And then going down on the little handle down here, not too bad. Low single digits. And looking at Toronto, about 5 degrees. Montreal, a little bit warmer at 7, 8. And Quebec also 5 degrees. Sliding over, taking a look at Labrador, Newfoundland area up in the north, fairly cold. A little warmer down on the bottom. They are still being fed by that high pressure system there. This low, the storm that's come in here, has ruined that high and moved it off. So they won't be getting all that wonderful warm weather there at Cole Harbor anymore. 13 degrees Celsius, and enjoy it while you can, Sue. And that is right about here, and not bad. So very, very nice. New Brunswick, a little bit on the cooler side, single digits. And same thing goes for the eastern portions of Newfoundland, western side, a little bit warmer, where the warm air is blowing through. Looking at what we see here in the western, northwestern United States for the most part, fairly cold. That stuff coming down through the Rockies all the way into Montana is certainly cooling things off. Yellowstone being around 6-7 degrees below freezing there. and Portland coming in only at about 3-4 degrees, Seattle about 5, and as we slide down, we see some of those other temperatures at 13 and LA, and that's not very nice. And Death Valley probably only about 22-23 degrees. There we go. Thanks, Sue. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Mexicali coming in only at 20 today, and showing at 19 in Phoenix. And again, the higher lands and the northern third here, northern half, are quite cool in comparison to the bottom side. And 19 in Tucson, sliding over a little bit more, looking at Texas, the warmish areas of the world right now, and not bad at the bottom end here, 24 in San Antonio, Austin coming in 24 as well. Houston a little bit cooler at 22, Dallas 21, and Oklahoma City in Oklahoma only 18, but that is okay. And we move a little further to the east. We see Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and I guess Georgia pretty much, as well as South Carolina, and even including Florida, about all that 22 to 24 degree temperature. Grandma B's home here, looking at about 67, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, or 19 Celsius roughly. A little cooler in the Appalachians, but not too bad. And looks like the warm weather just still barely holding on to New York at 15, 16 in Philadelphia, Baltimore 17, Boston a little cooler at 14 there. Halifax, I didn't look at Halifax, 10, 11 degrees there. So not bad in the U.S., all things considered, but I'm hoping that cold will retreat a little bit and warm these guys back up. It is wintertime though, so that is to be expected. A lot cooler in Mexico as well, and that is something that we kind of expect this time of year, with different weather systems moving in. Only 25 in Cancun. That's a far cry from the standard 28 that they normally have. Different systems developing here again. And here's that hurricane that is going to be heading in towards Florida. It is called Nicole, and Nicole doesn't fool around. She wants to be mean. So we'll see what happens with that one, and hopefully it won't do any big damage. South America looking pretty normal for evening temperatures, all the way down into our wonderful, actually it's a little bit cooler here in Argentina on this side, but pretty reasonable for them for right now. Uruguay a little bit cooler, still 15, 14, 13 out on the coast here. And looking at the cold spot here, and the 7, 8, 6 degrees in some spots, and that's kind of always cold there. The rest is a lot warmer in the 20s to mid to high 20s, I guess, for the most part. And that's kind of what we got. Anyway, 17, 18, and 19 in Rio de Janeiro. Sliding over to New Zealand, and New Zealand looking a lot warmer. They've got a high sitting right on top, and that is showing 17, 18, 19 degrees, depending on where you are. Some higher elevations again, lower temperatures. Low sitting here is probably drawing down some of that warmer air, which is really nice, although it's with these highs here, that you can bet is making some rain. We'll take a look at it right away here. Yeah, anywhere from about 16 up to 19 degrees on the northern island. Looking at Tasmania, holy mackerel, they'd be sun-tending today, and anywhere from about 18 on up to about 23 degrees I see here. So very, very nice there. And no wonder Leo's having a barbecue. 24 degrees outside there at Melbourne. That is pretty awesome. Adelaide coming in at 24C, and it looks like, holy mackerel, 41 degrees right there. That's got to be the hot spot on the planet for today. That is very, very warm. Perth only coming in at 21, and Brisbane, home of Oz, coming in at a comfortable 23 degrees. Sydney is only at 20. And looking up here, yep, 41 degrees has got to be the high temperature that we see on the planet right now, and it is held by Australia. There you go. And looking at what we're seeing here, a low sitting on top of Vanuatu, probably messing up their day, and that is probably big enough to mess up New Caledonia as well, and even some of Fiji and Tonga. Sliding up a little bit more, we see those really hot temperatures continuing on, and we see it has warmed up in Papua New Guinea as well as here in Indonesia. Looking at Java, it's temperatures from 30 down to about, I don't know, 27, 26. And Bangkok coming in at 29 degrees Celsius today, 58% relative humidity. Wow, they are dry today. Hopefully they'll put on some skin lotion or something. Anyway, Manila coming in about 30 as well. Not bad, looking really good temperature-wise. A little warmer today in the bottom end of Japan. Seeing 21 down there is not bad compared to yesterday, a lot warmer. And even Tokyo has made it up to 19. But we do see the northern areas here still quite cold. And Kamchatka Peninsula showing anywhere from about -1 to -5, 7. Boy, cold. Coastline, of course, being just slightly warmer. And of course, that is Siberian cold starting to develop in this area. And sliding down a little bit more, looking at what we've got here in India. We've got a bunch of different circulations, and always hard to tell in this area whether it's a high or a low, because of they're opposite down on the southern side. So if they're right at the equator level, you kind of go, is it a high or is it a low? But that's all right. We do see some circulation there. So yeah, they're showing a low here and high spinning this way. So is this a high or a low? These would be lows, I think, and that might be a high. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. Looks a lot colder in the southern end of our wonderful African country. Same with Madagascar. Not quite as hot as what it was, but still comfortable temperatures. And only coming up to 15 in Cape Town today, or this evening. It is nighttime there, so that's what we would expect. And same thing with the Sahara Desert being a lot colder, and Central America or Central Africa, the Congo and jungle areas here, holding their temperature not too bad. A lot cooler when you get into places like Ethiopia, and even over here in Yemen and Oman. They're really starting to lose some of that heat. Even a little cooler in UAE as well as Saudi Arabia. This cold or the low up here isn't helping any. It's got a friend up here. That low was pulling down the cold air, and this low is accepting it and pulling it further south. And that's what they are seeing. And of course, Turkey being fairly cold, and the eastern side of Turkey here really too cold. And let's take a quick peek at Piggy's temperature. And she said it was still relatively nice So not bad. 19 degrees Celsius right now. Piggies would be somewhere around, let's see, well, I'll see what Piggies got. Honolulu, yeah, sure. Honolulu, 27 degrees Celsius or 81 Fahrenheit. That's pretty normal. Anyway, Piggy's got 18 degrees Celsius right now and 64 Fahrenheit, 14 mile per hour winds. And there we go for that. Sliding over and looking at, oh, yeah, cold, cold. Sicily, gonna freeze. We're going to see more snow on Mount Etna, I think, from the looks of this. And we'll see what happens there. And then, of course, the boot of Italy being the warmer area, coastal areas, again, keeping some temperature. But as soon as you get interior, inland a little bit, it starts to cool off. Milano only 9 today. And New Irish Monkland, still coastal areas fairly warm. Interior down to 8, 9 as well, so not good for them. It is winter coming, and of course Portugal is getting some of the Gulf Stream air pushing in here, keeping it a little bit warmer than the rest of Spain, and Spain is starting to cool off a little bit as well. And France, for the most part, is relatively calm and cool, other than out here on the coastal areas where we see that same warm wind that is hitting the Portugal as continuing to move northward and actually go through this channel area and actually warm up England a little bit. London coming in at 14, which is really nice. Looking at Germany, Munich, München, 4 Grad or 4 degrees, and of course 8 there in Frankfurt, Cologne coming in at 12. Berlin at 10, 9, 10. Hamburg about 11 as well. And actually looking pretty warm up here in Denmark. They've got anywhere from about 13 down to about 12. Looking at Copenhagen real quick, 12 degrees there as well. So not a bad night for them. And quick peek at Stockholm. We see that nasty low here, and that's pulling down that cold air. So Stockholm is not taking advantage of that warmer wind blowing up north. And there we go, 8 degrees. And then we've got St. Petersburg coming in at 4. Helsinki about 8 or 9 as well. Quick peek at Moscow, 3 degrees Celsius right now. And looking at England, we see that England is getting that warmer air. And really nice for most of England. Looks like Wales just a tad cooler, and up here in Scotland a little bit on the cooler side as well, but still not as bad as it could be. And of course old Irish Monkland, Doolin is probably coming in about 7-8 degrees, and that's what we're seeing right there in Ireland. So that's kind of what we got. That one of the lows is sitting here being the pull for that warm air, which is really good right now, and I'm happy that they're getting that. This high needs to move out of the way though, and allow Spain to warm back up. So with that warmer air coming in, that is actually hitting the bottom end here of the Icelandic coast, 7 degrees, and some of those warmer spots, 8 degrees. Not bad, but when you get back over to the Reykjanes Peninsula and the capital city, only coming in at about 5 Celsius right there, and our wonderful volcanic area, Eruption, only about 4 or 5 as well. So that is what we see there right now. Let's pop over to precipitation real quick, and we're going to do this very fast. We see this nasty stuff up in the western parts of our Alaskan area, and then of course looking at what we've got here in yeah, it's starting, the snow is starting to get lighter, and hopefully it'll blow over through soon, but we can see its southern portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan is where they're going to start getting nailed, and then I don't know, that's obviously going to slide this way somewhat. We'll see what happens. This low off of the coast here, that is affecting Vancouver and Seattle and Portland and all the way down to San Jose, as far as I can tell, bringing that colder air down for them, and then recirculating it, sliding over a little bit more. There's that Nicole, and we don't know what's going to happen with that yet. There's a lot of draft through here, so that may slide in a little bit further south than I thought. But regardless, it's going to come ashore, and so Hurricane Nicole will do some damage there. Looking at the eastern portions of Canada and the U.S., we see Halifax is still dry, but the northeastern portions of Nova Scotia are definitely getting some water, and so is Newfoundland, and they've actually got some heavy-duty storm activity going on there. Newfoundland Labrador's got a cold low sitting there as well, pulling all that snow into that area. Hopefully that'll dissipate for them, and it won't be so bad. Muchly needed rain here in our wonderful California area, so they need that. Definitely worthwhile. They do have some ice rain there. Other things that are kind of neat. Northern Nevada has got some snow there, or snow and ice and rain and everything else combined. Going up and looking in Idaho, and of course Yellowstone would be right around here, so they're kind of getting little bits of that. We do see a small wet area here in Texas, but nothing major, very small storm. And of course Florida is getting some moisture already from all that wind blowing through, but nothing too severe. Same thing with South and North Carolina, and that's kind of what we're seeing there right now. Let's check out in what we have in Central America, and yeah, spots all through, and our central or equatorial storm being very present again today. And we see that moisture is actually being pulled up by Nicole. Very interesting. Amazon getting some rain right now, so Venezuela and French Guiana, those areas are getting some, as well as the northern portions of Brazil sliding down a little bit more. Peru, a little bit of rain. Bolivia, a little bit of rain. They probably don't mind that rain in here because they need some of that. And again, some rain going all the way through Argentina, but just little dribbles here and there. Southern end of Chile getting some more moisture and possibly some snow in some areas, but I think for the most part it's going to be a rain. There's the snow. Higher elevations, of course, that is a mountainous area for those who don't know. And looking at New Zealand and their South Island, pretty dry looking. As I suspected, that low is bringing in that moisture, or taking it from the high, the temperature changes, dumping some moisture onto the peninsula up top there, and some little spots down below. Nothing in Tasmania right now. We do see a little bit here in southern Australia, and that is probably welcome right about now. Same with this area out by Perth, and we do see some rain in the interior in that very hot area. Must be good to see that. And then, of course, the breadbasket area over here is definitely getting a few showers, and possibly even in Brisbane. Maybe she won't be suntanning. Okay, Oz, you won't be suntanning, sorry. And looking at our Malaysian, Philippine, and Indonesian area, pretty normal for this time of year. Lots and lots of different weather systems, and they are doing their thing. And looking at what we see on the Sea of Japan side, we do see some stormy stuff there along the coast of Japan. The other stuff is off the coast and to the west, or sorry, to the east. This is west, this is east. Yeah, there we go. And sliding up that nasty low up here, of course, throwing some snow into the Kamchatka Peninsula. And we're seeing what else we got up here in the north. Too cold on top end of Russia. And looking here in India, Indian Ocean area, again, a bunch of different circulations. So that would be, yeah, this would be a high here circulating that way, counterclockwise. So I don't know, again, this one here, is that a high or is that a low? Since that's right on the equator. We'll see. These are lows, though, or I believe. So that's all cool. That's a low one here. And here's why it's so much colder down there. They are getting some rain in South Africa. And again, the jungle areas and places down on the bottom here, I'm glad they're getting a little bit of moisture. And don't see anything in UAE or Oman or Yemen or Saudi Arabia. Nothing until you get up in the northern portions of Iraq or Syria here, and of course in Turkey. Snow in the eastern portions of Turkey, and looking here at Kos, I don't see any rain for Piggy for a little while. So she'll be back to normal. I'm sure she enjoyed that rain. A little bit in Crete, nothing over here in Sicily, or very, very little in Italy as well. Same thing with Sardinia, or sorry, New Irish Monkland. And then we get out into Spain. We are seeing that warmer air, of course, coming in from the Gulf Stream, and that is bringing along moisture, and that is getting into the western portions of Spain, plus a lot of Portugal being covered by it. The western corner here of France getting nailed, and here's what is actually happening in England, and they are getting bombarded. That low is still sitting over here. So it doesn't surprise me that that is still pulling up all that very, very humid air, and although be it warmer, but anyway, that's what they're seeing. And of course, Scotland. So this guy, I don't know where he's going to drift off to, if he's going to go to the northeast or north a little bit more. That is hopefully northeast, and we won't see too much. And sliding back over here, and it looks like Germany for the most part is all pretty much dry. Denmark is getting some rain, and well, most of it, but not heavy stuff from the looks. And here in Sweden, they are getting a rain there, and of course down on the bottom end of Finland, that same low and system that's bringing all that moisture in is definitely giving them some ice rain and spots, snow, and fairly heavy rain in places. Just north of Stockholm, Sweden, we see the twirling, and of course there's a big low sitting here in Finland, and that is bringing a whole bunch of moisture to that area. And speaking of this low, that is what is happening there in Iceland. That is pulling in that colder air, And we see some very heavy areas here where they're getting rain and snow, and does not surprise me, ice rain in some places, and that is pretty obvious there. And of course a little bit less rain here, but still the entire Reykjanes Peninsula is getting nailed as well. And of course, you know, Greenland. Of course, Greenland's going to have some snow, and that's pretty normal there. So that is kind of what our weather map looks like for today. Let's find the temperature. That is the lowest temperature. We found the highest temperature in Australia, 41 degrees Celsius. So let's take a look and see what we can find in the very, very balmy, warm Antarctic. And I already found 59 degrees Celsius, or minus 59. And let's see if we can find anything colder than that. And it should be about a minus 60 here somewhere, or 61, 62. Can't have too easy of a day for a penguin. And there's 59. Let's take a look here. Do we have anything colder? I don't see. Oh, 57, 58. Maybe in that area? No. No, looks like just one spot here where it's a little bit on the cooler side, and there's 58. Yeah, I don't see anything colder there. We had colder temps here, 59. And I think that is where I am going to stay today, minus 59 degrees Celsius. That's cold enough for me. And way to go, Sue. Sue got minus 60. And that is cold. And Sue, you win by a point. And definitely you get to go down there to Antarctica and hand out those free blankets to the penguins. So on that friendly note, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. And we will leave it at that. Put you back on some canned lava and warm you back up, because that is just too cold. And yep, it is. Why what? Yep, I had a minus 59 degrees Celsius. Unfortunately, I'm not warm enough. I wish it was warmer than that. But anyway, I want to see if we can back that up a little bit. We want to show more lava here for a few minutes yet, and maybe I'm back a little bit more. There we go. All right, I'm going to leave that there, and we will leave it as that. So big thank you to everyone for being here today, and it's awesome that we got to 104 likes on my screen. Mark the Shark, aloha, and thank you for being here. The only super chat we had today was from Piggy for £2, and thank you, Piggy, for that wonderful super chat. And then Sharon Stewart gifted 5 free memberships, and Thor gifted 1, Kevin Haynes gifted 1, and Grandma B gifted 1. They will likely get paid back for most of those, since I only see 1 being used on my screen. And so you guys probably will end up getting a refund, but thank you for trying anyway. Do appreciate that, and that is awesome, and that's very kind of all of you. This is old from last year, La Palma. Yes, it is. It is, and some of it actually has the label on the bottom that says Cumbre Vieja, La Palma. We are just at a point where it doesn't seem to have that label, but the other areas do have those labels. So anyway, we're going to leave it at that, you guys. It is cold, it is snowing, it is Edmonton. Be good, be kind to everyone, take care of yourselves. A big super thank you to Arizona Snowman Piggy, CND Boy, and Gary, 24/7 Live, AZ Skies, as well as Joseph Fields and Lucas Snow if they're around. And on that note, it is time to say thank you to all of you who are here, of course, and still hanging in there. And we do appreciate all of you. And be good, be kind, take care of yourselves. Stay warm if you're in a cold place. And don't get frostbite. We don't like that. And on that note, please make sure that you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care, and good night, and oink oink.